This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and it's Friday evening. It's Friday evening. Let me get into my channel here. Welcome to my desk. Welcome to my desk. I'm going to do my Friday night stream a little bit different tonight. I'm waiting for my tablet to bring up my chat, and let me fix the quality. I'm going to do a book review first. I've been promising that I would do this book review for 3 or 4 weeks now, and I just haven't gotten to it. It's been one thing or another. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, do you remember when I was reviewing the book, The Wednesday Sisters, and I started talking about reading and all of that? Well, the following week or so, I was contacted by Elijah Baylor's mother and said, would you consider doing a book review of The Cat That Dipped? And I said, sure. She says, I'll send you a copy. And so she did. And here is Elijah Taylor. Now, I'm not sure. They probably will not see this until later because, well, I didn't stream last Friday, I don't think. Did I stream last Friday? I think I skipped last Friday. It's just been one thing after another. So they don't know that I'm doing this tonight. But what I told them I would do was put this book review in a separate video so that they could send a link to it if they wanted to share the book review. Hi, Becky. Hi, Elvis. Welcome to everybody who's out there. Elijah he just turned 10. Now, he wrote this in January. This book was published in January of 2022. So the way that I'm going to review this is talk about the front matter and the back matter and a little bit about the book. But I'm not going to share the entire book because I don't think that would be fair. I will share my thoughts about the book. So let's just start with Elijah. Elijah Baylor is a lover of all things Spider-Man, learning, Japanese, and family. He's a writer and creator of the Cap Exploration series. A writer and a creator at 10 years old. Wow. All his life, that 10 years of his life, he was been a storyteller. Now, I love it when children have imaginations. You know, there's nothing that can't be beat than a child's imagination. Sometimes as we grow up, we are so creative when we're young and we have all this imagination. As we grow up, we kind of lose that. But so Elijah, don't lose your imagination. All his life, he's been a storyteller, but it wasn't until he turned 10 that he began to explore his love for his hair, that he began a series of books explaining the funny antics of his locks and his cap while he's sleeping. In his free time, Elijah enjoys spending time with his parents and older brother, his extended family members, and especially his cousins, his dog Ezra, playing video games with his friends, learning a multitude of different languages. At 10 years old, he's learning all these languages. Good for you, Elijah, including Japanese, sign language, and soon to add Spanish. He enjoys engaging in his group Japanese class, chess club, Pokemon club, and Splatoon club. I'm not sure. I think that's a game. I'm not real sure what that is. You know, this younger set. And he, as a homeschool student, learn more about Elijah and his family as they homeschool him, travel the world, and DIY updates within their home at www.meetthebaylors.com. And I put that link And I hope I put Baylors, and yeah, I did. I put the Meet the Baylors link in the description box, and the link to Elijah's book, The Cap That Dipped, to Amazon in my description box. So if you want to review that, they're both out there. So I want to talk a bit about my thoughts on this book. I kind of made some notes for me. I want to talk about the imagination that young people have. Don't squash that. Don't squash that. He's a storyteller at this young age. Just think if he can develop that. He has all these languages, all this interest. Oh, to be young again. Good for you, Elijah. And here he is at 10 years old, and he already has a book out there on Amazon. How cool is that? So if you have grandchildren out there that have imaginations, encourage it. Encourage it. Help them maybe even illustrate what they're seeing in their head, especially if they have an artistic bent. And this book was illustrated by Mandira, Mandira, Biswas, Biswas. Now, I'm probably not pronouncing that correct. Please forgive me. Let me have a sip of water. And I have to tell you, since I don't know much about locks and dreadlocks and why he would be wearing a cap, I had to look that up. So I'm learning. And I guess they wear this little cap to bed at night to, of course, keep their hair from getting tangled, but also not letting all the natural oil out of their head go off on their pillow. So let's open it up to the front matter. Here, The Cat That Dipped by Elijah Baylor, illustrated by Mandira Biswas. That I can't pronounce. So here, the man, the myth, the legend, Elijah. Elijah Baylor is a black boy with an imagination that spawns in a multitude of areas. His inspiration for this book came to him after explaining to his mother why he didn't have a cap on his head. There must be a conspiracy. My cap dipped. Now, I'm not sure what he means by dipped. And I will say, as I read the story, you get a sense of how young people and maybe even young black boy think, how they talk. It's not like I grew up, so I get a little sense of that. And you'll see if I don't want to read the story to you because I don't think that would be fair to Elijah. But I will say that I like how the words came from his mouth. It doesn't feel to me like it was edited too much to say, you can't talk like that. That's not proper grammar. And I love that because it's this child telling this story, or young man, I should say. There must be a conspiracy. My cap dipped. That became a series of cap exploration and the love for his locks. Now, of course, his locks are these little braided hairs that young men and even young ladies, and I think I even saw, now I think there's a difference between locks and dreadlocks, but don't ask me to explain it because I don't know. But I think Donna Downey at one time had her hair braided in, and I'm going to say dreadlocks. I'm not sure, but I remember when she did that. So, hey, Donna. Donna Downey, of course, is an artist in the art world. She still, well, I think she still has a YouTube channel out there, Donna Downey. But that gets off into another story, but I know that she has dreadlocks. This book will take you through the journey of his cap, making and taking a daring journey off his head and into the world. What will it experience? Can his lock stop it from leaving? Learn more as we delve into this series of Lamont, and Lamont is the character of the little black boy in this book. Can he keep his locks from leaving? Learn more as we dive into this series of Lamont and the cap that dipped. And then you get into the front matter here. All rights have been reserved. This book or parts thereof may not be reproduced in any form. American copyright law. This book is a work of fiction. Names and characters and places and incidents are either products of the author's imagination or are used fictitiously. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, businesses, companies, events, or locales is entirely coincidental. For permission requests, write to Olivia L. Baylor at baylorbook@gmail.com. And I'm sure that's probably in the link at Amazon. Credit, references, and permissions are listed on the same page of the items posted and are considered a continuation of the copyright page. He even has an ISBN number. The first printing was in January of 2022. Create Space Independent Publishing, North Charleston, South Carolina. For permissions, write to Olivia Baylor at baylorbook@gmail.com. So, as I said, I'm going to share the first page, but I don't want to share the story. And we already know that it's about the cap dipping. It's going to get off his head. But what I want to talk about here is the illustrations. One-tone color. There's not a lot, and you'll see me do that when I do my Ruby Rose paintings. There's not a lot of shading in here, so these are very attractive pages, especially for a children's book. And this, of course, is a children's book. The book is, and the story is not too long, so it's a fun book that you could read to your grandchildren without losing their attention and get through the entire story. You know, children's have a short attention span. But it's time to go to bed. Lamont ties his locks up and is all ready for a good night's sleep. Now, here's where we get into, yo, bro. Now, you know, this is, I mean, the book has probably been edited, but I'm glad that they keep verbiage that would come from a 10-year-old black boy. Yo, bro, I'm about to bounce. It's hot and I have things to do. As soon as he turns, I'm going to the other side of the room. And here the lock talks back to the cap and it says, say what now? See that? Say what now? That's a verbiage that comes from a 10-year-old black child. So I'm glad they kept that in here, because I don't feel like this book has been edited for proper etiquette, grammar, you know. Like if I wrote that story at my age, they'd probably cross that out. They'd probably cross that out and say, you can't say that. Anyway, the lock says, say what now? You're hot? I'm always hot. I'm always out in the open. And you're only here at night. And you're only here at nighttime where it's nice and cool. So I love the illustrations. I love that they're vivid. They're very attractive. I could just see being cuddled up on a couch and reading this to your child. So I'm not going to read the rest of the story. I'm going to skip to the back. Well, another point that I think is good about this book is the questions. And it's not like a whole bunch of questions. Just 2 things that you could ask after you finish reading the story. Oh no, the cap has made a big mistake. What do you think will happen next? Oh, something happened in here. Something happened in here. So, but it encourages a child to answer you back. What do you think is going to happen next? I might keep that in mind for my Fib Diggity story. What do you think will happen next? And then the other question is, have you ever had your cap come off your locks while you're sleeping? Now, depending on who you're reading it to, you could ask another question like, what do you do when your room gets hot? You go over and turn on the fan? Did you yell at your mom? Do you run and sleep under the air conditioner? You know, you could just ask some simple questions, and that gets a child's imagination going. So that's really my book review for this. I hope that Elijah gets to see this, and I hope, Elijah, that you never lose your sense of wonder. Never lose all these things that you are learning. Oh my goodness. Your dog, your video games, learning a multitude of different languages, including Japanese, sign language, and soon to add Spanish. Keep up your storytelling. And I hope to see more books from you. Congratulations to being published, Elijah. Congratulations. Let me get back out to my YouTube channel. And this will be, I'm going to end this now. So all of you that are in here, all of you, welcome, thank you for coming in. I'm going to end this video now, and please come back. I'm going to start another video. I wanted to do the book review separately so that it could be shared separately without having to get confused with everything else that I'm going to do tonight. So hang with me for a minute, and I'm going to end the stream, and I'll be right back.